If the name Jeffrey Epstein rings a bell, that was my agency. It treated the most prolific child like a rock star. They were starving dogs to make them perform. You could see every spine, every vertebrae, every rib. I decided to file a whistleblower lawsuit against the agency, which made me a marked man. And I told the lieutenant, I said, do whatever the you want to me.
It's not fair.
Do not take it out on my dog. It was night shift versus day shift. There was 2 units within one, right? So a very good friend of mine got a new dog, and he had to go to the day shift academy. Couldn't come to my school. 4 months, he was at this other academy, and he would call me all the time, bro. Like, he's a big fucking hillbilly, hog hunting type of dude, bro. Like, this dog was biting him every fucking day, and they would not let him handle it. They would not, for a couple reasons, bro. There's a long story. And he hated the fucking dog because there was such a bad relationship. The dog was a little fucking asshole. Training sergeant calls me into a meeting at Chick-fil-A, sits me down and tells me, hey, this guy's coming back to you at nights. I have to document a manual out, which doesn't exist. Like, I'm just getting this dog in my hands, and I have to say he won't out. He won't do a release, a verbal out. So I'm like, yeah, cool, no problem. I was off the next day. Dude came to my house in 3 sessions. Eject, whack, flying back to heel. They couldn't get him out, couldn't get him to recall. Competition shit. I sent him the video. Hey, we're good. Downhill from there. The egos could not fucking handle that they created a fucking monster. For the first bit of business was dad's off the menu. Do not fucking look cross-eyed at daddy. We handled that. It's all it took, one time. Okay, we're good. And then taught him to let go when we needed him to.
So you fixed over the weekend what they couldn't fix in...
Not 3 days, 3 sessions. Work them, put them up, work them, put them up, bring them out, done.
That's where I get lost. Like, why did they want that documentation?
To put, yeah, maybe to fuck me or put it on me, because they couldn't make it happen. And that was the beginning of the end for me. Because simultaneously I'm putting up big numbers, my team is putting up fucking massive numbers, and I'm fixing fucking problems that they created. And the egos can't fucking handle it.
So what goes on from here?
Long fucking boring story straight, but this would take a whole nother podcast to explain it. They were starving dogs on day shift to make them perform for food-based training. I brought food-based training to the unit. These fuckers skipped class. Like, I'm big on existential training. The dogs' entire calories are consumed through training, and they love it. They're predators. They know that life. It's hunting for food, hunting behavior for food. They love it. So not only were these assholes restricting calories from the dog, but what they were feeding was this Red Barn compressed log. Is basically the nutritional value of fucking cardboard. You could see every spine, every vertebrae, every rib, protruding hip bones in multiple dogs in that school. Not having it, bro. My wife, who's a 25-year veteran cop, her father was a veterinarian down in Hollywood, Florida for almost 40 years. She grew up in a vet clinic, animal lover. My car kept fucking breaking down every fucking week. She'd drive me to the office during the day to pick up another fucking car. She saw the fucking dogs looking like crackheads. She lost her mind. She worked narcotics for 10 years, Detective Bureau for many years. She worked animal abuse cases as a veteran law enforcement officer, where she would make multiple arrests if she saw those fucking dogs. She lost her fucking mind. I called a meeting with the lieutenant. It was, at the time, I thought a good friend of mine. I said, hey, we have to fix this shit. We have to fix this. And I had someone, it was in the day shift academy, a good friend of mine today. He sent me a video of the dogs doing a training technique. He wanted to see if he was doing things right because he wanted to learn training. I said, bro, the technique's great, but these fucking dogs are emaciated. What the fuck is going on? So I showed the lieutenant the video. And I said, bro, this is bad. Long story short, I said, we got to fix this shit. So whatever the lieutenant did, when he left that room, we were bro hugging. I told him, I said, bro, we have to fix this shit. I said, I know these 2 motherfuckers are going to try and get me for this shit. It's 2 main assholes. He hugged me and said, I'll never let it happen, bro. So left that night. I worked overtime. The next morning, called into IA, done. So what they did is they had me up for insubordination, saying that I called it. Well, what they did is they called me in as a witness, right? Where you're compelled to speak. You have no right for representation. You have to fucking speak or you're done. So what happened was the path that it took, this is the fastest moving IA I've ever seen or been a part of. I really haven't ever been in trouble in police work. They got the message to the sheriff that I told them if they didn't get kicked out of that fucking unit, that I was taking that video and going to the media with it. And the sheriff hates the fucking media. I was in the sheriff's living room with him and his wife, and my wife on a couch, clicking and feeding his dogs, his pet dogs. Wrote me a check twice. Canine Service Unlimited. Thought I knew him too, right? Like, this took a whole bro. This was all this was a fucking trainers meeting, which we've had 1,000 times, where we'd motherfucker over each other over and over, and the dogs would be fed. The dogs had to be fucking fed. Easy. But they took this shit because they're SWAT boys, they're protected motherfuckers. They ran shit. SWAT runs that agency. This shit went to the sheriff. They told him just what he wanted to fucking hear, and I was done. Cost me $30,000 a year with assignment pay and overtime. And I'm too dumb not to fight it, bro. Like, too dumb. Like, fuck that shit. I decided to file a whistleblower lawsuit against the agency, which made me a marked man. I had to retire. Like, it's a mafia down there, bro. Like, I could tell you a million fucking stories. It is straight up mafia. Like, if the name Jeffrey Epstein rings a bell to you, most people, they've heard that name. That was my agency. That treated the most prolific child rapist like a rock star. So, long story short, bro, it was a mafia, bro. So I had to leave to fight them fairly. If you're there and you're fighting the man, you're fucking doomed, bro. Doomed. There was a dude, I forget the name of the podcast, but legit, he's a geek. I'm not gonna even say his name, but he should have been like owning Google, not being a cop. Long story short, he does some digging, finds some real dirty shit on the upper brass, and they somehow get the FBI to hit his house. He knew about it. Changed his name, got a fake passport, and now he lives in Russia to duck these motherfuckers. Yeah. Until it happens to you, you're like, maybe these guys fucked up. Bro, mafia. Straight mafia. So I knew I had to leave the fight fair, bro. So ended up, not forced me, it was a gift. It was a blessing to go to Tennessee. So, again, I've always trained pets, always had 4 or 5 dogs in for board and train, never had to advertise or market. Cops have big mouths. They like what you do, it spreads like fucking wildfire, bro. So I had dogs all the time. Moving into Knoxville, didn't know shit. So I had to start getting on social media, right? So I started how to learn all those algorithms and learn how to edit and put fucking shitty videos out.
You're starting from scratch.
Starting from scratch, bro.
You're no longer a police officer. You don't have that income, I'm assuming.
Nope.
And so you make big leap of faith.
But I had a sugar mama, bro. Like my wife did.
She had just retired?
She did. She retired several years before me.
Okay.
And she wanted to get the fuck out of South Florida.
So you set your sights on Knoxville.
Yep.
The mountains, the change of scenery, out of South Florida.
She had actually bought a Frenchie up there before we met. She went up in the fall and said, this is where I am retiring. So they booted me out of canine lightning fast. And this is what they did, bro. They fucking made me put my dog in the fucking kennel.
Their kennel.
Their kennel. They'd let me come, while I was on admin leave, they'd let me come once a day to break him. I'd go to it, because I can't touch him.
That's what I'm going to say. No one can take
Can't get their
dog
fucking
out.
hands on him, bro. And that's what made me get him.
And they wouldn't let you keep him.
My wife wrote it was my wife's dog that she donated to the agency with the stipulation that I handle him, and should I be removed from the unit for any reason, we retain him.
Okay.
But I was still on admin leave where I hadn't been booted. I knew it was
playing
coming.
games with you.
They're fucking with me. I'd go in, his kennel would be covered in shit. He had urine in his fucking water bucket, like scumbag motherfuckers taking pictures. And I told the lieutenant, I said, do whatever the fuck you want to me.
It's not fair.
Do not take it out on my fucking dog. And because they couldn't get their hands on him, like the next day, I went and got him. Like I had to go unarmed into the fucking kennel where I trained and fucking worked to get my own fucking dog. That's what they want. They want to bury you and make you a little fucking bitch. So you submit. And most cops make a lot of fucking money down there. And what makes people take that shit is they don't have a backup plan. They don't have an exit strategy when it comes. Not if, when it comes. And I always knew that I can make a living training dogs, but I loved hunting these motherfuckers. And when they stole that shit from me, made the full transition, man. So, but what happened with social media is during my lawsuit was an election year. Epstein popped up. So I leveraged the fuck out of that to continue blasting them on social media about Epstein, my case, during election year. Stuart Kaplan was the family's attorney. He's a very high-powered attorney in South Florida. He actually represents cops, too, but the agency is scared to death of him, bro. He's a fucking savage. I love this dude. We became friends. He quickly saw my angle. and during my whole dog bullshit, like the skinny dog bullshit, I knew somebody that knew the sheriff's daughter. And they told her what was happening. The sheriff's daughter went to him and said, "Do you know what's really happening here?" Didn't want to hear it, bro. Like I tried to get message to him on the back, like through the back door somehow. Like if he just knew the fucking truth, bro, that we're just trying to get these dogs fed. But it was a gift, bro, because I do not miss that fucking job. The sheriff went in while my shit was going on and gave the entire unit a gag order to not talk to me. Right? Guys that I had bled with, bro. Like this is where you really learn who your friends are. I had a couple close people call me from their kids' phones.
Jeez.
That's how scared they are of the mafia, saying, "Bro, we love you, but we gotta go." And I would never put them in a situation to put them in under the microscope to connect with me, bro. It just got really ugly, man. You know? So, you know, like I said, bro, it was an experience that I wouldn't change.
If we can say, just to clear the air here too, I don't know if it's important or not, but you keep referring to the sheriff. It's not the current sheriff there.
It is, yeah.
Current sheriff.
It is the current sheriff, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And if you only knew the truth, bro. And he's a dog lover. Like they're a massive, like the Big Dog Ranch down there.
Yeah.
It's one of the largest, probably the largest rescues in the world. They're massive supporters of dog. They're dog lovers. Like it made no sense to my wife and I how we can be on their couch, training their little pet dogs with a clicker and a tree pouch, vibing. Like things are cool, and then completely close the door. Because these motherfuckers knew exactly what to tell them, bro, to get me booted. Because they had that target on my back. They were looking for a way to fucking get me out because their egos couldn't handle the things I was doing on the road and the dogs that I was producing as a trainer, right? It went viral. But and nobody gives a fuck. You would think that PETA would get involved, USPCA, nobody gives a fuck, right, in the long run. So you're a double-edged sword, man. Like, I can't not stand up for what I think is right. When you stand up, you stand alone many times, bro. And I've experienced it many times in my life, and this is a true one. A couple friends, man, that didn't fucking turn their backs on me. Some people had to. And again, the kid that filmed that thing, filmed the dogs, and was showing me the training, and I shit myself. They kicked him out of the unit because he filmed it. Because he's a rising star. I trained him, and the kid was tenacious, brilliant, an amazing fucking handler. They're like, yeah, he's an up-and-coming competition. Let's get him out while we can. Mm-hmm. Sick, bro. Sick. Him and I couldn't talk for a while. We're now very close again. And it's come full circle, bro. I would not, as fucked up as it is, I'm talking about from birth to the day sitting in front of you, I wouldn't change shit, man. It's God's plan. Who am I to change that shit? But I'm so grateful for the adversities, bro. The adversities, the difficult situations I've been through, I would not fucking change anything at all.
If you like that clip and you want to see the full podcast, and I highly encourage you to check it out, click the link below.